Vegas was great. As a 40-year-old, can still hang.
Bro,
Did the
honestly,
day
when you
club.
said that, I was like, fuck, dude, I can't even imagine going now, let alone in fucking...
Well, they're all from Toronto and England, right? So they wanted to do Vegas, do the club, do
I can't
this.
get over how crazy, Vegas is to foreigners. Like, I
Yeah.
always hear, anytime I've ever come encounter with them, they always ask, oh, is Vegas as glamorous as it is? And I'm like, girl, I've been going since I was a kid. That's
That's why,
crazy to
when
me.
they were trying to do, the one cool thing we did was at the day club, we went to Marquee, and it's the pool and whatever.
Yeah, dude, Marquis
So
really cool. Yeah.
it was super cool because we got a bracelet where it's unlimited drinks for 2 hours, and of course these scumbags the last half hour just went to different beer or different bars and
Yeah.
stocked up. Uh, the groom had to essentially be helped out of the club. Ended up spending about 20 minutes in the bathroom throwing up. Two of the other guys are tumbling everywhere. And if you've been to Marquee, you got to take 7 flights of stairs.
Yeah,
And it's
it's up there.
that sounds dangerous for a bunch of drunk fucks coming to
That
Vegas,
is so funny. I love that.
Actually, Erica, something you'd like. One of my friends that I met years ago, I hung out with her and she showed me around. And off the strip, she took me to a weed tasting, like a weed and sweets pairing. You walk in, they give you a pre-roll, and then you go pick up your first nug, which is 1.5 grams of some strain, and then they come bring you a Rice Krispie treat, and then they have pipes there for you to use, clean pipes, never used, smoke it, whatever. 10 minutes later, go get your next nug, and it's another 1.5 grams of a
How
different
much is
kind of
that?
weed. And I don't know, she just got us in. I don't even know how much that was. It was free to us, but she's legit. Shout out Coco. She's the unofficial mayor of Las Vegas. Showed me a great time on all the off the strip
That
shit.
is the coolest thing I've ever
Dude.
fucking heard of. My favorite is being high in Costco. Costco.
Costco. Just go
There
around with all the
is
Yes.
samples.
there is such a thing as too high.
Oh,
You
for
do
sure.
for sure get
Yeah,
a hangover
definitely.
feeling right away.
But I like putting in my headphones right before Costco and then just zooming through with my little cart, doing my jam.
See, but that's a dangerous game you play, because then you're gonna buy all kinds of shit because you're faded, and you're
Yeah, I don't
have a
care.
fridge and pantry full of just snacks and all the shit.
True, true.
But yeah, so Vegas was great, and then we went to Tahoe. Adrian, Brian, it was his bachelor party.
You said Lake Tahoe?
Yeah.
Lake
I'm going
Tahoe,
to
yes,
Salt Lake
South Lake Tahoe.
City. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
Salt Lake City in May.
If you can go and see the Olympic Training Center, because I believe it is open to the public, highly recommend. It's really fucking cool. They allowed us to do the bobsled, you can race down the bobsled and stuff
You
like
did
that.
bobsledding?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
How's
So that's
that?
what I'm saying. If you have the
Did
opportunity,
you
if you have
sing the
enough
song?
downtime, you should go.
Feel the rhythm.
Feel the
Feels the
rhythm. Feel
rhyme.
the rhyme.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Seeing This. I am the movie Mamba Michael Ornelas, and the Academy Award for Best Sound Design goes to the Feisty Picey, Erica McMullen, on the call.
Oh, be prepared.
Call also is the Gerber baby-faced assassin, Adrian Cedeno.
Yo, yo, it's in the bone. It's in the bone.
And that means we are talking about the new movie, Warfare, just hit theaters 2 weeks ago. We're going to dive into that shortly. When I read that you put that, Adrian, at first, I'm like, it's in the bone.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. It's in the bone. Yeah, that's a good, you win. That's the best one. Good job. How you guys doing? We haven't recorded for a couple weeks. We recorded ahead of time because I was a bit busy,
Yeah.
but what's new? How are we doing?
I was just complaining to my cousin. For those of you who don't know this about me, I've lived alone for a very big chunk of my life, and I lived away from my family for a really long time. So now that I'm back and immersed in family life, I feel like every single weekend is filled with something. And when I want to do things by myself, everyone's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I just need a break."
Dude, alone time is
Yeah.
you got to have that alone time, especially when you've lived. I
Families
just go.
don't know boundaries. Families don't
No.
have boundaries. Yeah.
As you just said, you knock on your boy's door and just
Right.
walk in.
Yeah, I
On
still-
Well,
our-
it doesn't
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
either that it's like one side is Mexican and the other side is Sicilian. So there's
Yeah, yeah.
literally no boundaries. So
And there's always something happening, and at least you get good food along the way.
always, always, always.
Yeah. What's been good with you, Adrian? Anything exciting? You said you're busy as well. Work, life,
Yeah,
baseball.
birthday season, softball. So we go back to back birthdays. My daughter's in February, then my son just turned 18 in March.
Anthony, shout out.
Anthony, shout out. And then I come up here in April next week. Then my
Oh,
wife
yeah.
like a few weeks after that, and then my son will be 20. Adrian, shout out. A few weeks after that. So
It's within
nonstop.
like what, 4 months from February to what, June,
to
right?
May 16th. Yeah.
I want to ask you about your pocketbook. But
Yeah.
before we get into our warfare discussion, I want to talk about what we've seen this week. There's been a lot of different things. I'll start off just to kind of follow up from our last take. A lot's been happening. So season 3, Love of the Spectrum, I was talking about it on our last episode, on the Last Breath episode. I binged through that, watched it. It's still great. Erica, we got to find a way for you to watch it.
I know.
Shout
I know.
out to Tanner and Georgie from the show. I tagged them in our post. Holy shit, did our post blow up? We have about 150,000 views. Before that, our largest view count was like 4,500.
Yeah.
So that post got like 100 likes, and like, just, I think above all that, it just speaks to like how great the people on the show are. And how much people just love this show. So Erica, you got to find a way
I
to watch this,
know.
because I want
They're
to
just
I'll
real
get on
people,
that.
man. They're just
No,
real.
100%. Like, I'd say more real than a lot of us.
I'm
You
in
know
the
what I
mood
mean?
to ugly cry. I gotta figure
Yeah,
out
yeah,
how
yeah.
I can watch it.
You got to watch it. You haven't done season 3 yet, Adrian?
No,
No,
I've only
okay,
seen
okay.
a few episodes of the first season.
Okay. Hey,
When it
get
first
the
came
fam-
out, I was interested in it.
get
We've
the
seen it
family
a few.
together.
They've seen a
Okay.
couple. Like while we're at the table, I just throw it on.
Yeah.
We have the ship, on deck.
It's so good. It's so good.
We've been on that Bailin' Out Loud. You got to get on that Bailin' Out
You
Loud.
did talk about that. Okay.
Yeah. That's another fun show. You guys gotta check it out.
So is that like, that comes out weekly, right? Like, it's not like all complete season, or?
I've already seen I don't know how it comes out.
Okay.
But I've been binge watched the first season.
All of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh my God.
Highly recommend.
Yeah. Oh, check it out.
All
It's
right.
good.
Bailing
funny.
out. Okay. Anything else you've been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies. I
boy.
checked out a Working Man, Jason Statham's new movie.
Oh, his
Oh,
new
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a cross between Taken and what's the Denzel Washington one? A
Equalizer?
Man on Fire.
Oh, Man on Fire.
Equalizer. Yeah. So it's like a cross between those two.
Sounds like a
Interesting.
Jason Statham
Jason
movie.
Statham. Yeah, it's a typical
Yeah.
action movie. It was fun. And then I saw Becoming Led Zeppelin.
The documentary about Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah, it was not good.
It was just the
It
pacing,
was just
or what?
boring. Yeah, it was boring.
Like, the music's
and
great, obviously.
the music is great, but I feel like they didn't have enough of the music. Like, I don't know. It was just more of them talking and telling, I don't know, talking about the story about how they became Led Zeppelin and not so much the music.
Sure. Hit or miss documentaries like that. It really depends how it's put together.
It
Yeah.
was slow.
Okay. Excellent. Erica, what have you seen this week?
Well, 2 things. I finally watched and completed A Complete Unknown.
All right.
Yeah,
Welcome to the club.
you know what, too? I think it was really good because my late uncle, he was very into Bob Dylan. We actually have a few paintings that my uncle had of Bob Dylan. I believe my uncle actually like photographed him a couple of times when
Oh,
he was
wow.
in
Awesome.
Hawaii. But it was really good to see that because my dad was like really freaking impressed with.
You watched it with him?
I watched it with them, yeah.
Oh, that's
and my
great.
dad was very impressed with Timothée Chalamet.
Timotei, our boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very impressed. And like seeing that and seeing like the minimal amount that I did of Adrian Brody's movie,
Yeah.
I snub.
Yeah.
I'll say it right here, big snub from him.
I
harsh of a
completely. I mean,
take.
we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
we talked
Timothy.
about it a little bit, but
Did your dad know anything about Timothy Chalamet? Like, does he know who he is, or was it like, who's this actor? Who's
he
this
like
kid?
knows who he is just because of my mom, I think.
Okay.
I In all honesty, I can't really say that my dad's ever seen him in anything else. Just
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like knowing what movies he's in. Um, the only movie I think he'd seen him in was we were just talking about it the last time, Don't Look Up. And he
Oh,
has like a very minimal role.
even know he was in
Yeah,
that.
I
He's
can't
the
remember him in it.
he's the fingerling potatoes guy. He's Jennifer Lawrence's like little love interest
I see.
there.
I see. Speaking of fingerlings, where's your little hand at? I thought you were bringing it
I
back.
know I was gonna bring Tiny Hand back, but
Right. We got keep us on our toes with that.
yeah, I
Dang,
gotta keep you on
call
your toes.
out.
It just
Way
gotta
to
like
call her
pop
out.
out randomly, you know.
Right.
Sure. You can't
Um,
plan it. Can't plan it.
and then I'm still watching Severance, so like it's getting good right now. I'm like
Are you had you seen the first season before, or you just started season 1 and going through?
just started season
Oh,
1,
okay.
like, and
Cool.
I've seen like clips, but I've never really known like what the premise of the whole show was. So like right now, it's like, okay, well, who the fuck knows what kind of thing? Like who's aware
Yeah.
and who's not, and
Yeah.
it's really good. I'm starting
That's
to
cool.
like
It's still on my list. I got to watch it. I feel
yeah.
like I've probably seen the least amount of movies these past couple weeks, because like we are talking about, I was at a couple bachelor parties, one in Vegas, just got back from Tahoe. So it's like really hard to be like, hey, bachelor party guys, like, let's watch a
Yeah.
movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did start rewatching The Last of Us with Pedro
Okay, yeah.
Pascal, because season 2 is now out on Max. I don't think you guys have played the game, but there's a part 1 and part 2. So season 2 is obviously part 2 of the game.
Is that where it came from? It came off of a game?
Oh
It's a video
yeah, a
game.
video
Yeah.
game.
And
Have you seen?
is The Last of Us like the cover was like a hand and like of blood or something like that, like on the cover of the actual game? I think I
No,
remember playing it.
I think the cover is like Joel, the main guy, and the girl Ellie. I think it's just the two of them, and it's The Last of Us. And when it came out, I believe it won like Video Game of the Year. PlayStation started bundling it when it would sell, so then like you have a game to play. But I had never played it until after season 1 of the show, and I was like, I want to know what happens in season 2. So I did both games. So rewatching the first one to get reacclimated. For those of you that have watched The Last of Us season 1, I just finished the episode with Bill and Frank.
Oh,
Talk about an episode of TV. Have you seen it, Erica?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So that episode of Bill and Frank should be taught in script writing. Like, totally kind of takes a separate story and like does the whole beginning and end of their story in a very
That one
beautiful way.
breaks my fucking
Yeah.
heart,
Yeah.
dude.
I
I
forgot.
remember like crying for like maybe a solid 30 minutes after that episode. Like,
Yeah, it was good. You got to check that out, Adrian. I think
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
dig
check
it.
it out.
I think you dig it.
I actually
Um,
think you would really enjoy it.
I
Yeah.
had seen like my son watched it, and I caught 20 minutes of an
And
episode here and there. Like, oh, this is cool.
just know as you're watching it, the entire scenario of what's happening is actually really physically possible in our
Possible.
world.
Yeah. And they in the opening
how it
scene of
happened.
the opening scene of the show like hints at that. It's like, well, if the Earth got a little bit warmer, you know.
And it is.
Speaking of that, it would be Warfare. So let's dive into Warfare,
Exactly.
our main movie review.
Have you seen this?
Have you seen it?
Have you seen this?
I know, I've seen this. I know this.
So Warfare is a 2025 film directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. You may know Alex Garland from Ex Machina. He also did Civil War from last year. Ray Mendoza has worked in Hollywood as like a stunt coordinator and has really done a lot of like war related coordination. Come to find out, this story of Warfare, Ray Mendoza was a part of it. He is a survivor of this mission that essentially Warfare covers. But to give a little more context, let me read the letterbox description here. The tagline is, everything is based on memory. Description: a platoon of American Navy SEALs on a surveillance mission gone wrong in insurgent territory. A boots on the ground story of modern warfare and brotherhood told in real time and based on the memory of the people who lived it. So Adrian, spoiler free, high level, what'd you think of Warfare?
I really enjoyed it. It felt real. For a second, I felt like it was a little slow, like kind of like dull. Like, man, when's this action gonna pop off? It really built the tension, in a unique way where I was kind of like annoyed, but at the same time, like on the edge of my seat. Like I couldn't wait for it to happen. Um, and throughout the movie, like it was pre- pretty gory to the point where like I was physically like on the edge of my seat, moving around, wiggling, like oh my,
Uncomfortable.
like I was definitely feeling something throughout the whole time, and I seen it in the theater, so it was a
Boy,
unique experience where like it's dark, nobody can see me, and I was just, my wife kept looking at me like, "Are you okay? Like what's going on?" And I was just like
she
going
went
through
with
it.
you. She watched that, huh?
Yeah,
What
she
what
loved
did
it.
she think? She loved it too.
Yeah, she thought it was a really good movie.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Erica, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I don't do well with real life war movies. Especially the type of scenario that we were kind of thrust into, like knowing like what this mission was like and all that kind of stuff. I'm also not a fan of gore.
Sure,
So
sure.
it was a bit tough for me to watch. That's why my opening line is be prepared, because this is a very heavy movie. Regardless of how you feel about the story, just like the things that are happening and the things that you see. I actually came across a video earlier today about the director talking about the sequence and stuff of things. So a lot of care went into the filmmaking and the cinematography and how things were shot. So be prepared when going to this movie. I do recommend it. I actually really did enjoy it and recommend it for people, especially millennials, to maybe go and see this movie.
Ah, mhm.
But very heavy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
be prepared. Like it's triggering for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you?
I my
Oh,
stepdad was in Iraq. A good buddy of mine was, his older brother was in Iraq, and he came back. They never the same. Um, but since then, my stepdad's been good. Shout out Louis. So I don't know if he'd be into something like this and watching it, and like
Yeah.
how triggering it would be for somebody who experienced it,
Maybe wouldn't
on the
recommend
ground.
it to that
I don't
group.
I
know.
don't.
I don't
I
know.
don't
But
know. Yeah, so they had a, I mean, not a real digression, but they had a screening for veterans of this movie, like
okay.
at one of the premieres. And even some of the veterans that weren't a part of that mission, they ended up talking to like on stage in like a Q&A. And I think overall, I think they gravitated to like the brotherhood of it. And it's like a time in their life that no, that the majority of people don't experience, and the kind of brotherhood you need to have in
That's
those
good to
kind of
hear.
situations, you know?
I think
Yeah.
it was long enough, like it happened long enough ago that they were most of the people that are able to go see it or into going and watching it have already healed themselves of somewhat of those traumas. You know what I mean? To the point where they can at least talk about it, or they're proud of what they went through and what they experienced, and now they're proud of, the brotherhood they have.
And but to your point, Erica, like PTSD works differently. So for some
Right.
people,
Right.
it may not be
Right.
beneficial,
Yeah.
to say the
I
least.
don't think those people even have any inkling to want to watch it.
Well,
But
I
Yeah.
have
I
a friend who I would never in my life recommend this movie to him. It's
Right.
because
Right.
of like his time in the military and things that he's gone through and his triggers. Would never
Yeah.
recommend this.
mm,
So
Is your Be Prepared influenced by Scar? Just
a little
curious on the Viking.
bit.
Excellent. Yeah. My overall thoughts for Warfare. It's an incredibly made movie. I mean, there's no doubt about the cinematography, and like I opened up with, the sound design grabs you. The way they use sound to tell the story at different points, peaks and valleys, is like, that's why I told you, like, Adrian, you got to watch this in the
yeah,
theater, because it's
yeah,
like, it makes it that much more visceral, right? And it's not a typical war movie, you know. Well, one thing that I found fascinating, and I've heard through like interviews, is there's not a single line of dialogue that is fictionalized or made to benefit the
Dramatized.
script or
Yeah.
drama. Yeah, like none of it. It's all from memory what was actually used, and the majority of dialogue that's happening is very technical. It's like military
It's
talk, right? They're
military. Yeah.
they're
Jargon.
communicating that way. Yeah, and yet it's still engaging and very, has all the tension that you're talking about, Adrian. The
I think
action
I
is kind of
really,
spread out.
now that you say that, I really appreciated the way they dealt with like the nose breathing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't it wasn't like Rafe, like the microphone is in his nose, like, but it was unique in the sense like you do hear him like as he's breathing, he's a sniper, like he's stuck in this position for so long, like
Yeah,
you would expect him to be like breathing and moving and like like it was unique but not in the same sense as Rafe,
sure.
nostril breathing the whole time.
That is so funny. He ain't ever gonna get rid of that stigma now.
That's great. Well, hey, listen, he looks great. I shared a picture with you guys of Ray for like his next role, and he is like ripped,
Yeah.
like fucking ripped. And he's what, like in his 60s
That's
now,
for his
right?
next
I mean,
role. I thought that was from The Return.
Hike
I think
that
that's from The
maybe.
up.
Return.
Oh, is it really still?
Ye-
He's just,
yeah,
or
so
it's an older photo.
yeah, I think it's an older photo from when
Uh,
he did the movie The Return, and now he's just kept that physique or something.
I love that Rafe has just become like our mascot of the show.
We love him.
We love a Rafe. I mean, there's not.
Oh, but
But
he
sound
is
design was on
62.
point.
I thought he was way older than that.
He's 62. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured he was in his 60s. Um, we could dive into spoilers. Like I think just to talk a little bit more freely. Again, it's not like a standard plot point A to B to like it's not like that. So the spoilers are a little. I mean, they're existent to a point. So we'll just do that and dive into spoilers here. Spoiler alert. To open up to your point, Adrian, with the like, when's the action gonna happen? I think we've been conditioned for a war movie, like there's gonna be action to get us locked in, and then some dialogue story. It's not like that. They're in this building in Iraq, and the thing that I think gets overlooked a lot, and I want to spend some time talking about, is the families.
That
These
live
guys
there in their
go.
houses.
These Iraqi citizens are just living their lives,
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
the dead of night, these U.S. SEALs come in and like point guns at them, don't say
Overtake their
anything, be
house.
quiet,
Yeah.
overtake their house, break down the wall, and pretty much keep this family hostage in somewhat of a civil way, I guess. Like,
Two families, because it's a duplex, right? They live above it,
right,
like on top of each other.
right. And this whole time, they're just kind of there when all these things are
Yeah.
happening. And I think
They're not just kind of there. It looks like they have two soldiers in front of them with guns telling them to shut up and relax and
don't
everything's
move.
going to be
Yeah.
okay. All the while, like, you're getting grenades thrown into your house,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, so that's the point. So they got the sniper kind of watching citizens or Iraqis within the street there and trying to see like,
they
are
call it a
they
trap house, Mikey. Trap house.
I'm not familiar with what that is, Adrian. Tell us about your experience with the trap house. But there's paranoid people in a trap house too.
Right.
Are they watching us? Are they calling us? Yeah. So they're like trying to have optics on these people to see like, are they insurgents? Do they know where we're at? Whatever. And then about, I'd say maybe 20 minutes into this 93-minute movie, a grenade gets tossed into where they're hiding and things kind of start to unravel. I'm curious, we talked about kind of people's experience in war and everything. Did it bother you at all as you were watching it that it was set up that way, meaning that there's not a lot of backstory on these characters? We don't really know why they're there. We don't know the mission, or did that enhance the viewing experience?
I was kind of torn, and my wife was also. She was on the same page. Where like we wanted more. Like we left the theater like, that's it. Like, man, I want more.
But more what? More action, more
I don't know.
story, more
Almost more story. Almost
More
maybe like
story.
what mission led up to this? Like what was their mission supposed to accomplish? Like they're just in this house just watching this.
One of these days they're
You know what I
gonna
mean?
film a movie and then they're gonna just tell us the truth on why they're actually there.
Right. Like was it nothing but intel and they're the only ones there, but
Yeah,
then they're
'cause,
getting
like
contact the other side? Like, was it the hunt for Osama bin Laden? Was it what was going on at this time where they had to be, like what were they trying to accomplish?
Right,
yeah,
right,
and
right.
I think the part too that's frustrating about, like, not having more of the story is kinda like we don't really know a lot of, like, the motives that were going on, like, we kinda get a general consensus of, like, "Oh, your government's lying to you about, like, the reason they were in this country," but, like, I personally don't think that we ever really get, like, the full true reason, and then the fact that we weren't really getting kinda like anything from their backstory. I think that was kind of frustrating and, like, where Adrian says it kind of like, we wanted more. We wanted just
Yeah.
a little bit more story.
I think that's all true, but I think it also goes into, like I said, like the conditioning we have for movies to provide that. Ray
Mhm.
Mendoza, like I said, is a co-director on this and is shout out DeFaro, what was his name? Sorry. DeFaro Wunatai. He's in Reservation Dogs. If you guys haven't seen Reservation Dogs, an incredible show on Hulu, but I
I
was
wanted to start
so
watching that on Hulu the other day.
bro, you would love it.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it
That's
out.
your shit. But it was so great to see him in this movie. One, because he's native, so it's great to see them on screen. And two, he fucking killed it. He like this movie
Mhm.
isn't about any one character, but at some point he kind of becomes the lead. Like he kind
Because
of
he's on the mic. He's
Yeah.
talking the whole time,
he's
He's
on comms,
relaying
right?
yeah.
And I like how they do little subtle things, right? Like the new guy is like, oh, this guy's got real new guy energy, right? So they do provide a little bit of context. But I was saying Ray Mendoza, the co-director, is that DeFaro guy. Like DeFaro is playing Ray Mendoza's character. And I think the fact that they had him in this movie to work very closely with these actors, really talk about the experiences. And not to fast forward at the end, but I really do appreciate that they showed like the real life people. Some of them had their faces blurred out because I'm sure they don't want their actual identity out there. Some people in wheelchairs, these different things. But I thought it was really nice gesture to like wrap it up in that way.
I think they both, in the interview that I was watching with the directors, they were both talking about how that's, like, part of the story to where it's like, we're not really there to, like, show you, like, this is, like, the film and stuff. He's like, "It truly was, like, this movie was based, like we were talking about, on memory, and it's
Right.
just essentially one long
Perspectives.
memory of,
Yeah.
like, what happened during this time." Um
And like memory can be fleeting. People have different accounts on what happened.
Uh,
And
I don't know that you go through trauma like that, or you like one, you're trained as like the details, just the way they communicate. I don't think that it's something that they could just forget. I think it's something that like
bro,
they know to the detail. Like if it happened yesterday, they
that
can recite it. I don't
that
think
is
that's something that'll ever leave them.
that is the unfortunate thing with any kind of traumatic brain injury, and that includes the way PTSD affects our brain, is
right.
that who knows, in 4 years, they could have had no recollection of how that happened or what was going on, and
So if you see at the end, it says for Elliot. So Elliot was the sniper
That
who was
loses his
injured.
leg. Yeah.
So he doesn't recall any of this. And part of this movie is they wanted to show him what his brothers in arms went through on this mission. He has
To
no
get him out,
recollection.
just to save his life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So him not having any recollection, imagine, 20 years later making this movie, like little details you might have a different recollection of, right? And Ray said like how we would navigate that in the movie would kind of be like a democracy. Like one guy would say, "Oh, this has happened." And I'd be like, "No, I was the one that turned on the tourniquet. I'm the one that put that on." Another guy like, "No, no, this is what happened." And you just kind of like
Mhm.
navigate towards the closest truth of memory. But I think I mean, to your point, Erica, like the power of your brain to protect you, to like completely wipe something like that from your memory is insane. And it
Yeah, because you
happens.
have to think, like, the damage that that trauma can do to you, not only psychologically, but, like, physiologically. It can have really, lasting and traumatic effects to your entire body. So, essentially, like you said, your brain protects you from that trauma to help you survive, to help you be able
And
to cope and live.
even the ones that didn't like actually have physical trauma, are probably like the best of athletes. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. You know, like
Yeah.
I think the challenge is like some people probably might not remember it and don't want to, you know, things like that. But you know, the grenade comes in and ultimately all hell breaks loose, and there's ultimately two main injuries, right? And I love the part
Mhm.
where like they're calling for a evac or like a, you know, evacuation, a medic evac, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have two severe injuries, and I don't recall.
He freaks out like, is it me?
Joseph
Is it me?
Joseph Quinn is like, who's the severity? It's not you, and his like leg is just blown up, right? But that's great. Like it's great in the sense of like that's a reaction someone would have. That's what you would do to try to protect
Well,
your
and then
brother in
knowing
arms.
how quickly, a grenade goes off and like can blow something off of you, right? That's also like your brain is not processing fast enough. Like it doesn't realize that your leg is actually not fucking there anymore. You know
And
what
It
I
then even
mean?
wasn't a
like,
grenade that went off. It was they said it was an IUD, but there was one point in the movie where they asked like what hit us, and he was like, I don't even know. But one of the guys says an IUD hit the convoy and they won't send another one.
well, so that no, that was the convoy outside, right? So the initial like grenade that came in through the
Right.
little sniper
Right.
hole, right? And then
Uh-huh.
they got one of the evacs to come out, and they were trying to leave, and it
And
fucking
that's
blew up.
when legs got blown
And
off.
that's when the legs got blown off. And
But you don't know if it
unfortunately,
was
they
an
had
IUD or a grenade
sure.
or somebody with a rocket launcher that hit him.
It looked like it was planted, and they just hit the button when they had the majority of people right there, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But what another thing that I think got a little overshadowed in this was the two Iraqi soldiers that were helping the Navy SEALs, right? Like
And
they were pretty
one that
much the
just gets
first,
blown to smithereens. Yeah.
pretty much, yo, you guys are gonna go out first, clear it out, whatever, and like motherfucker's leg ended up just in the road, you know, after getting blown off, and it just shows. You know, I think war movies that we're used to, there's tons of casualties. You know, like just, I mean, think of Saving Private Ryan when they land on the beach of Normandy and they're just bullet zipping, and it's very visceral also, but this is different. It's almost more
There was only
intimate.
one,
That it's
right?
not.
There was only one casualty.
Mm,
It was just the one Iraqi. The other Iraqi, we don't ever see him the rest of the movie.
yeah, I don't remember what happened to the other one, but yeah, but one, I think one casualty and then the two like major injuries.
Injuries, yeah.
Um, yeah, severe injuries. But one thing I want to do is bring in my guest that's been waiting a long time. I wanted to talk about the movie a little bit before I brought them on, but it's actually another soldier from the movie Full Metal Jacket.
Joker.
You might know him as Joker. Matthew Modine plays Joker in Full Metal Jacket. But let me bring him on so then he can better reflect what I thought of this movie.
The dead know only one thing. It is better to be alive.
Better to be alive. And I think the way the movie ends is all this chaos has happened in the street, right? You got insurgents on the roof. They're trying to clear out. They're trying to get the other evac. And then when it's all said and done, it's just blood and smoke. They even says like, oh, where are you? What building are you at? And at this point, they're so confused, like where the blood and smoke is, like just where the blood and smoke is. And like once everything calms, that's what's left. And these Iraqi insurgents all come out of their buildings. And it's like all this chaos for what?
And then it's all
You know, it's
quiet.
like
Yeah.
it's just still like the stillness of nature. If people aren't there having these wars, like that's what's left. And I thought that was a real powerful way to end the movie because you know it's hard. There's a lot of debate about is this a anti-war movie or does it glorify war? And I don't know. I think that's more of a reflection of one's own thoughts. Like if you watch a war movie and you're like, oh, this is awesome, this is glorifying war. Like that's the viewer's experience,
It's
not
all
necessarily
about whatever your personal bias is going into
right.
this movie, 100%. You will lean one way or the other, just kind of depending on what you know about the situation and the time period as well, just kind of like what was going on in the world, within our own country, within the Middle East, all of that kind of stuff. Just kind of being aware of that before you go into this movie will definitely change how you see it.
I also appreciated that there were moments where like the conditioning we have is like, oh, this fool's out here in the open, he's about to get hit in the head
Yeah.
right when they go back in, and it
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I actually now appreciate that, because like in actual, that's just the drama of it. It's like, oh, this guy thinks he's in the clear, he's gonna get hit when he goes back in, but he didn't.
Or when
So
they're
I
running
really,
across the street, like you see insurgents, you see bullets flying from all angles, and they're still just running. And I was thinking like, oh, he's gonna get hit right here, and somebody's gonna have to grab him, pull him, and carry him out. Like, I don't know. You wanted more heroes and more like victims and more, like you really only had that one casualty
well,
that
I
whole
mean,
time, and
but
then the
again, like,
family that just comes out and their house is destroyed. Like
that's another thing. So once they leave, the Navy's gone, and then the family that's essentially been held hostage in their own home with their like aunt, their daughter, I mean, the whole family, right? And he comes out, and in my head, I'm like, fuck, just don't go out. Like, still don't
and he's
go
like,
out
"Don't
yet.
be
Like,
afraid. Don't be afraid. They're
yeah, come
gone.
on out, little kid. Like, I'm like, holy shit, don't do
Don't
it.
be afraid."
But I appreciate that they stayed true to it, as far as like not have them end up being killed just for the drama of it, or
Yeah.
I have very conflicted feelings about the military, but it's not
Fair.
necessarily the soldiers. It's more those calling
Exactly. It's
the
the
shots, right?
military complex you can be mad at.
Correct. What
Yeah,
I'm
but the
not mad at,
Brotherhood, you can't be mad at the Brotherhood. Like
well,
they
yeah,
they
well,
got
those
each
are the
other's back
individuals
to
for
like
sure.
come help me. We're gonna carry this fool out, and then his leg is like dangling and bending around the wall, and he's
I
like,
think
When it
"Stop,
gets stuck,
stop! Let me
yeah.
like turn and like I can't just yank. Like I wish like my son would yank. Like
I
you're
think
ripping my foot
Michael
off. Stop yanking."
I think Michael's more mad as like, okay, well, why were any of those soldiers there in the first place?
yeah, right.
But
But I do appreciate that. Like Joseph Quinn, who I mentioned, was the guy that played Sam, one of the others that was injured and was just like screaming right anytime he got moved. And that's where again the sound design did a great job of like sometimes muffling it,
man,
I was
sometimes
pleasantly
amplifying it.
surprised with his performance.
Really,
and
you
then they
don't?
kept
Are you not
stepping
a?
on him.
Well, that's when Bravo Company comes in, and this fool comes in all like, "Hey, how we doing?" Fucking running over his foot. It's like,
Leave him
bro.
alone.
Yeah.
Just rub some dirt on it. It's okay.
It reminded me of Half Baked when they come in and step on Killer, the dog that's all passed out.
Stop,
Hey
man.
man, watch his head, baby. But yeah, no, I was getting to like the performances. DeFaro Wunati, who was like I said, Ray. Cosmo Jarvis is Elliot, the sniper guy. Will Poulter, who has been in a lot of movies, really did a great job. Was kind of Alpha Team leader. Charles Melton, who was the Bravo team leader that comes, help extract them, was also in May, December. Joseph Quinn, as I mentioned. I'm saying all this, Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son, was in this as well. Just so many young actors that I think are going to be like this generation's stars. And they all fucking crushed it, especially for this different type of acting, right? It's not normal dialogue. And I thought all of their performances were incredible. Was there any one particular character or actor that stood out to you guys? Or
Yeah,
was it
I think Joseph Quinn. I mean,
Quinn?
like I
Yeah.
said, I wasn't really not that I don't think he's a good actor. I don't think we've seen him in enough for me to really make a
Plant a
comment.
flag.
Yeah, really make a comment about how I feel about his acting. Really liked his performance in this. Really did.
Yeah.
When someone can mimic pain like that, I gotta give it to him. It's funny that I talk about him because I remember seeing Noah Schnapp, whoever he plays in Stranger Things, but seeing like him in like a painful situation, like baffled. So like for me, seeing somebody being able to react in that way where it looks like you said so visceral, so real, was really impressed with that from him because I was not expecting that.
There are sounds that we as humans make in pain that like hit a different kind of nerve. And he was like anyone can say like, oh, I'm injured and I'm screaming, it hurt. Like you felt it. I truly believe like that's what it sounded like when,
Like that man's legs are gone.
fuck.
Yeah.
Anyone
And they
stand out
weren't
for
even
you?
that bad.
Or,
He had a big old gash down like his like groin and like inner thigh. But like the whole backside was like
Thinking about
draining blood as they were dragging him.
yeah.
I don't know. I was on the edge of my seat, and I think it was because of the yelling. When you say the sound, the sound definitely stood out to me,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I was on the edge of my seat. Like, I wanted to be like, "Shut up," and like give him
Yeah.
morphine so he could just shut up. Like, I can't handle that guy. I was losing my mind. I was on the edge of my
Yeah.
seat.
But
It
like I
definitely
said, that's a testament to how well he
Yeah.
expressed that in that scene. Like,
100%.
I was really impressed with him.
It's going to be fun drafting stock because I think honestly, like I think they're all going to be good picks. Like everyone in here has a bright future.
Yeah.
And you know, I think I asked who stuck out to you because I think there's just so many actors here that did a great job. And um you know, because it wasn't about one specific character or one specific actor, everyone kind of got a good shine, like a camera time or like, you know, enough to kind of portray their acting chops. Did anyone stand out for you, Adrian, particular? Or?
DeFaro and Cosmo Jarvis.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he played
Yeah.
Elliot. He did really good when he's trying to explain like he's in a lot of pain. He was asleep, like knocked out, and he wakes up to pain, and everybody was thinking that he was dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a really good job.
I guess with that, we'll go to our Commodus scale. Thumbs up, even or down. Let's start with Adrian. What are you giving it? Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Erica, what do you think?
Okay,
Thumbs up also.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Thumbs up. I mean, it's a great movie, the way it's made and executed, and the care they take for such like a sensitive subject material. I definitely think it was a very good movie. I hope, you know, like I said, sound design. I hope that it didn't come out early enough that it gets forgotten the time Academy Awards come, because
Yeah.
I can't remember a movie where sound design was just so prevalent to the story and the execution of how it'll make the audience feel like they're in this place, right? So I hope that's the case.
You gotta like
Let's try.
bookmark this episode so that you can like send it to the Academy. Like, here, dummies,
Yeah,
don't forget.
I'll use my
Yeah.
pool at the
Yeah.
Academy to
Yeah.
get them to get it nominated. Double feature pairings. Let's do that first. Double feature that would go with Warfare. Really interested to see what you guys would say. Erica, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I picked Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield. I know that we got very heavy gore and such like that, so it's kind of nice to see the opposite of seeing like what it was like for someone who didn't use weapons, you know, was a healer, was a medic.
He was a medic, right?
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
medic in the field and stuff
It
like
was
that.
against his religion to
To
shoot
take a
and kill
life,
people
yeah.
and take a life.
Yeah, to kill someone. So, a little bit opposite direction, but very heartfelt. I mean, I definitely cried during that movie. Like that movie, like I said, I'm not a war movie gal, but Hacksaw Ridge definitely recommend if you have not seen it yet.
Hacksaw Ridge is probably my oldest son's like favorite war movie. He loves
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
He could
It's
watch it
good.
His
anytime because
generation.
he goes back and saves them, and you know
Mm.
the whole story of how he was just a scrawny kid and just carried 50 people back and forth,
Sure.
all night
Sure.
long. Like it's
It's
crazy.
like Forrest Gump, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Going back and saving people.
yeah.
2016 film. Let the record show. Erica loves Mel Gibson and his films because that's a Mel Gibson film.
Excuse me.
That's all right. Passion of the Christ 2
Do
is
not put
coming.
words in my mouth.
We'll check that one out too. Adrian, what's your double feature recommendation?
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down definitely has a similar vibe and feel, where it's just one mission, and the casualties and the injuries that they have to overcome, the brotherhood trying to rescue each other while saving yourself. It's just a good war movie, and it reminded me of Black Hawk Down as I was watching it.
Yeah, Ridley Scott 2001 film with a stacked cast, dude. Josh Hartnett, Eric Bana, Ewan McGregor, Tom Sizemore, Sam Shepard, Jason Isaacs, like Orlando Bloom, Tom Hardy. Like it's kind of
there's
like
a lot of people
Uh-huh.
in that.
It's like the Saving Private Ryan of
Yeah.
our generation, of like the 2000s.
tons of cast members that
Yeah.
like ended up being huge stars for
Yeah.
sure. So for my double feature recommendation, I I'm going old school. I'm doing the original All Quiet on the Western Front. It won the Best Picture in 1930. I just watched that this year as part of my every Best Picture, which has hit a bit of a roadblock once I hit Gone with the Wind. That really, I had a hard time with that movie, so I've hit a pause, but I need to get back on it. You like that one? Have you seen it? Or
I'm not a fan of Gone with the Wind.
me neither. Like, I don't understand how so many people really.
Casablanca, yeah, love.
That's next on my list. That's the next one. I haven't seen
it. If that's a good follow up to Gone with the Wind, I
Okay.
think you'll enjoy Casablanca a little bit.
I think it literally won the next year. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was.
I didn't like Casablanca.
No, okay.
Then don't watch Gone with the Wind. You won't like Gone
Yeah.
with the Wind.
I didn't like what was the boxcar street?
Don't spoil it for me, man. Oh,
No,
Boxcar Named Desire.
The other, yes, I didn't like that one either.
Okay. Well, no spoilers. I got to get to those first. But All Quiet on the Western Front won Best Picture. And the reason why I really enjoyed that movie, even though it's from 1930, is it actually has a commentary about war, right? The first ever Academy Award Best Picture was a movie called Wings, and that was very war propaganda, glorified being able to fly for the army and none of the repercussions or consequences of war. But then All Quiet on the Western Front comes out, and that's really what the movie is about the actual impact of war, the consequences, and how at times, most of the time, war is quite meaningless. So I think after watching Warfare to then go way back to 1930, which is crazy to think, 95 years ago, almost 100 years ago, which is batshit.
Crazy.
Check out. I mean, again, I know some people are intimidated by older movies because they're a bit slower, black and white. This one really, I think that's you. Yeah, that's Adrian puts his hand up there. I think All Quiet on the Western Front has a remake that came out the last few years. All Quiet.
60s?
No. It came out like 2022. Like it just came out. So if you want an updated version, I guess you could watch that one. But I'll say the original All Quiet on the Western Front. Let's draft some stock. Erica's favorite part of the show.
I hope I go first. I want to go first so bad this time. Please.
I'm really curious. I just hope I go ahead of Adrian because me and Adrian might have the same person. But let's see. Choosing first.
Erica.
Ain't that some shit?
She puts in the universe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, we'll remove Erica there with the first pick. Oh shit! Here we go. And the second pick. Ain't that but a bitch? Keep going. No, keep going. Oh, what a tease! There we go. All right, so I'll take the
crazy.
If you couldn't tell from the reaction, I got second pick by a hair. That was even worse than the one you got last time. That was a hair
I was
you.
pissed.
Oh. Okay, Erica, you were first. Who are you drafting?
I'm actually really excited about this. Because I don't believe that I have a director under my belt at all.
Wait, okay.
I'm going to take Alex Garland. And in particular, because I am very, 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 very excited to see 28 Years Later this year.
That's right. Yeah. So Danny Boyle's franchise of 28 days, 28 weeks, and now 28 years later. Again, here's my moment for you guys to yell at me. I haven't seen any of them, but it is high on my list. I get it. I want to watch it. I'm very excited as well. I'll watch them by the time the movie comes out.
Movies.
Yeah. So it's All Quiet on the Western Front. You guys haven't seen it. I'm just kidding.
Yes, I have.
Oh wait, the original?
Yeah, the original.
You know, Erica, you
okay, I don't
me
think
more and
you
more.
realize how like my parents, like they're not like old, but like all of their siblings.
They're just old, not
well,
old.
no, they're the youngest of all of their siblings, so like they have seen a range of things. So like if we're at their house or if I'm, being babysat, which I was a lot, that's what, whatever's on the TV. So I actually saw that movie, I think, when I was about 13 years old.
Wow. Shout out to your family, educating you young. That's great.
Giving
that's
you
great.
culture.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, Alex Garland, great pick. Ex Machina, as we mentioned, came out 10 years ago. Maybe we'll sneak in an
very
anniversary.
Impressive work all the way around.
Yeah.
But like I said, I am very excited to see 28 years later.
100%, 100%. You know, I have to take my boy after I've hyped him up. I'm really excited for you, Adrian, to watch Reservation Dogs. Like that is like you and the boys would love that. But Tefero Wunatai, I hope I pronounced his last name right. I'm gonna draft him. You know, you don't get to see a lot of native actors get a lot of work. I mean, there definitely is work
Let me
there, but
see
it's
his
not.
last name. I'll tell you if you. Oh,
Yeah,
no, I think you said that right.
okay, I hope so. I'll respect if I didn't. But you can't tell. Like that was probably my favorite part of the movie was realizing, hey, that's from Reservation Dogs. That's my boy, and he does a great job in that, but a very different kind of role, right? So to see him have these kind of acting chops too, and then also kind of take the movie by the horns and kind of end up becoming like a lead, I think he has a bright future. So I'll go to Pharaoh. Agent, last pick.
Well, I'll go Cosmo Jarvis.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, really?
yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna go actually Charles Melton,
Yeah.
because I've seen a bunch of his movies, but Cosmo Jarvis. I just watched Alto Nights.
Uh-huh.
And if it wasn't for the bad makeup and the prosthetics that he's wearing, he does a good job in it. So yeah, I would say I think Cosmo Jarvis has got some potential. He's gonna be in a lot more movies too.
I think this movie has the most like talented cast that just Will Poulter's been in a bunch of stuff. He just came out also in The Last Unicorn or whatever, right? With Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd.
No,
Charles
I don't.
Melton,
His
I
like you
want.
eyebrows just
mentioned.
drive me crazy, man. Like that.
Will
Yeah,
Poulter's? That's funny.
yeah,
You're the second person to say something about his eye or eyebrows. That's
yeah.
interesting.
He's
Somebody when he was younger in his career, he had a buzzed head and very thin eyebrows, and somebody compared him to Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah, it's him. That's totally
yeah,
Sid for
yeah.
sure.
If they did
Live
a live
action Toy
action,
Story. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
it's gonna be him.
But
As
They
Cosmo,
well
I
did,
really
they
liked
did
Cosmo in Shogun too. He was really good in Shogun.
he's actually gonna be in the Odyssey, I believe.
as well. Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
Good pick.
asked for
I mean, everyone's in the Odyssey, but yes.
hey,
good,
but that's,
good pick.
I mean, I feel like that's so. Not that he hasn't been anything because Shogun is obviously as huge. It's become an amazing show, an Emmy
Yeah.
winner. But being able to work around the talented actors that have been cast for the Odyssey, I'm excited to see because when you're around the best, like the best performances come out of you. So it'll
Oh
be
yeah.
exciting to see how he does like in an environment with just like a crazy
I mean,
cast.
I mean, I'd seen Annihilation, but I wasn't really familiar with his acting. But after that performance, like, I mean, he's on
I
my
hated that
radar.
movie.
Wow, that's a take. People love Annihilation. It was okay. It was okay. It was a bit different. I can't,
That movie.
I
I
can't hate.
think I hated it because the maybe the first half of that movie, like, I'll give a first good half, the first half of that movie was great, was setting up for a lot of great stuff, and then we got that ending.
Goes off the rails a
It
bit.
goes off the rails. I just felt like, you had such a cool sci-fi thing going and you fucking ruined it.
I thought it was interesting. Like, maybe because it's Natalie Portman, so I can't really say anything bad about her or her movies. It was different. I appreciate a movie if it's going for something. It's not going to land for everyone. It's not my favorite sci-fi movie,
Needed a
but
little bit more. If it was gonna drone on as long as it did, you better give me a better fucking story. I didn't like
better
that movie.
deliver. Got it. Hot take.
Hot
Annihilation's
take.
not good. uh, awesome. Anything else you guys want to touch on Warfare?
No, we
Go
did a
see
good
it.
job.
Go see
Go
it in
see it, yeah.
theaters. Go see it in
Go see it in
theaters.
theaters. Go see it in theaters, not at home or on your phone or on a flight.
I mean,
It's a
unless
real
you have
visceral
like a
experience.
huge TV. Like, what if somebody had like a 65-inch TV? I'd be like,
You
Oh,
yeah,
just
go
don't want
ahead
the
and watch it at home.
distractions, and you want surround sound, and you want like, you know.
yeah.
All of
I
the
mean, if you
above.
have all that, sure,
Yeah.
sure. You just got to wait till it comes out to video on demand or on a Criterion
Or get at
Collection,
me and
4K.
you know.
Yeah. Hit up
Or give
Adrian. He'll
Adrian
send
a
you the
call.
link. Yeah, he'll send you the pirate ship. Well, that's our episode. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Make sure to follow us on Seen This Pod on Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're also on Seeing This Pod. You can find all of our episodes, our bonus episodes where we do drafts, anniversaries. We haven't really discussed what we're doing next, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. So make sure to follow us, like, subscribe. Again, shout out to Love on the Spectrum, Tanner, Georgie. Appreciate you guys sharing our posts on your stories, which, you know, let's see what comes of that. But nonetheless,
soon, I promise.
Yeah, we're gonna check in on you. Wait, we had homework, and I don't think any of us have done our homework.
Shut up right about that right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna review that episode. Make sure we get all our homework notes together. But thank you guys for listening. Until the next episode, stay safe.
Peace.